Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we are taking a look at the Ketuo Knives Meridian, and that's with the ultimate goal of seeing if it's worth adding to your collection or your daily carry. Now, this was sent to the channel for review by the Lefty Pass Around group. It was designed by Mitchell Picard, and the OEM was Ketuo. This knife really surprised me. I was not convinced that I was going to love it, and then it showed up, and I spent some time with it, and I feel a little bit differently now. So jumping right into it, we've got smooth titanium scales front and back. We have blue anodized body screws and pivot. The pivot has some really interesting milling, and these are all T6s. And this looks like it can be done with a flathead. We have this really nice gold anodized and dimpled pivot collar, and that's on both sides. You're either going to love that or you're going to hate it. I was on the hate it side until a day or two ago. It started to grow on me a little bit. Maybe it's an acquired taste. We have a deep carry milled titanium gold anodized pocket clip, non-reversible. It does have a ball, which makes it really easy to get in and out of the pocket. Get you a good look at that. We do have a little back spacer, which tastefully has Ketuo on it. And then we do have a spot for lanyards. Ergonomically, this knife feels fantastic. It's neutral, so that means go where you want. And there's so much room. I've got large size glove hands. I'm back here as far as I can go, and I have nothing but space. I can also choke up and have all this space left over. You can also just kind of spread out and still have space on both sides. So very comfortable. There's no hot spots. Everything just kind of melts into your hand comfortably. You could make a hot spot if you were to hold it, like put this in the crease of your palm and then just squeeze the shit out of it, then it'll be a hot spot. But if you're just using this and you're holding it like a human being does, there's no hot spot. Incredibly comfortable. This knife is balanced very well. A balanced knife is going to feel dexterous. It's going to feel nimble and easy to maneuver, especially when it's balanced around where your first finger is. So we are balanced pretty close to where we want to be. We're slightly butt heavy because typically we want to be up here, but considering how much knife you're getting, this knife feels incredibly lightweight. It's not, but it feels that way because of how well it's balanced. This jimping is useless. This is just going to let you know that your finger is touching something that feels like jimping, but it's not going to act functionally like jimping. Now, we do have a really handsome kind of pearlescent drop point blade. We've got essentially the exact same finish on the body, kind of that pearlescent finish. If there's an official name for it, you can let me know down in the comments. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a pearlescent finish. That's kind of what Poikilo calls their finish, and I think that's a good name for it. We have essentially everything beyond this is a flat grind. This thing is very slicey, a very good user, but we still have enough blade stock thickness that it's robust enough for any Slurpee defending, any boxes that you want to tear down this way by stabbing it as opposed to cutting it. Anything that would require some like direct force starting from the point, this knife is going to be just as good at as it is slicing because it's still thick behind the for the blade stock. So just overall a really good functional blade. Excellent geometry. We are rocking M390. That's going to be great for edge retention, corrosion resistance. It's going to have okay toughness. I will say that I spoke with Laren Thompson. I asked him if HRC was linear or if it was exponential, meaning that is the difference between 59 HRC and 60 a big deal, or is 59 to 60 the same as like 63 to 64? He said it was functionally linear, which means the difference between 59 and 60 HRC is not that big of a deal. It's not like if it's 59 HRC, you're flipping out jello, right? It's not that bad. If you're using your knife for daily, regular EDC stuff, you're not going to. Let me start that over. If you're using your knife for daily, everyday EDC stuff, you're not going to notice a difference between 59 and 60 HRC. You just won't. You won't be able to tell. Nobody's that cool, right? If you're Laren Thomas, you could probably tell. He could probably say, yeah, it feels like a 59 HRC, and then I would like lend credence to that. But if somebody that isn't him, I'm going to say you can't tell. You just can't. Maybe somebody like Neves or Stasa, people that use knives every single day, I would give some credence to their opinion too. But this fear of 59 HRC is crazy because the stuff you're doing is not so insane that a 59 HRC versus a 60 is going to make or break you. The difference between 59 and 60 is the same as between 63 and 64, right? So I say that to say that there's a lot of companies that have a range of 59 to 61. I think that range is perfectly acceptable. Now that I know that 59 isn't a big bowl of Jello, and 61 is like rock solid, I think having an HRC like that is acceptable. Now, as far as the detent goes, this is where things get spicy. It's a medium strength detent, but this flipper tab, which I had completely dogged on in my head, is excellent. You just push it, and this thing comes flying out. And that's counterintuitive to what most of us thought. Well, let me speak for myself. It's counterintuitive to what I thought. I was always under the impression that to get that type of action, you needed the flipper tab to sit above the pivot or even with the pivot. This thing is straight up below the pivot by quite a margin. Looks like a bird. Damn, it does look like a bird. I just noticed that. That's the big eye. That's like the owl. That weird part of their eye that's huge. And then this is like a little beak. That is crazy that I'm just now seeing that. It straight up looks like a bird. Wild. But so I had no expectation that this would be great. I figured I was traveling less distance, right? Instead of going from up here to down here, I'm just going here to here. But for whatever reason that I don't understand, it works incredibly well. The acoustics are fantastic. And the deployment acoustics are great, but I really want you to listen to the acoustics from disengaging it and the drop. Do it again. You hear that? It's like this little mechanical just so the feel, the acoustics, it's been hard for me to put this knife down. Whenever I get up in the morning and I grab a knife, I've got so many knives to review, and this one goes with me almost every single day. And I test the other knives, but whenever I just want to fidget something, I tend to pull this out more than anything else. Like just so good. I mean, this is on par with some of my customs. In some cases, better. Because you just don't get drop acoustics like that. You just don't. I mean, here, look. This has great action and good acoustics, but it's completely silent while it's dropping. And I never thought that that was something I was missing out on. Until this. Even now, I never flick knives that much to show acoustics. I literally cannot stop. This is one of the most fidgety fun knives I have ever experienced in my entire life. I don't even want to send this back. I might try to buy it. I might try to buy it off the group. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, just give it to me. Here's 20 bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to keep it for me. But yeah, the action's incredible. And lock bar access is super easy. They've got it scooped out, right? There's a scallop right there. Really easy to just get in there, push it, and the drop. Oh, okay. I won't deploy it again. Oh, wait, I have to. It's lefty friendly. Even though the pocket clip is not reversible, lefties can deploy this all the same and enjoy the knife. Ugh. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. As far as overall length goes, oh crap. I guess I have to deploy it for the overall length, right? I mean, I got to, right? Okay, I did. Overall length, we're coming in at 8.58 inches, so a little more than full size. We have a blade length of 3.54 and a blade to handle ratio of 0.7 or 70%. We have a total weight of 4.37 ounces. So that's obviously way more than the ounce per inch ratio. But given the size of this knife, I think we're still pretty safe because this thing does not feel like it's 4 ounces. It feels like it's 3. Up against the Civivi Brazen, it is about an inch longer. Up against the Civivi Altus, we are substantially bigger, probably 2.5 inches bigger. And up against the Real Steel Sylph, fantastic knife, we are coming in about 2 inches bigger. So we know Ketuo doesn't make budget knives, and this is not the exception. This is not a budget knife. This knife comes in at $255. $255. That is not a small amount of money, and you can easily get similar utility from a $50 Real Steel Sylph. You can get utility out of a $60 Civivi Brazen. $50 Civivi Altus will also give you similar utility. These are all cutting objects that will do what you need done for a daily carry. This is not for people that are looking for just pure functionality. This is for people that want something that is going to be functional, but is also different. Something that is outside of the box. Something that has a unique aesthetic with, hyper precision milling. That's who's going to be attracted to this knife. This is not a knife they made to sell 1,000 units, right? That was not the intent of this knife. This knife was made for an enthusiast market that's creeping up from maybe the $200 to $300 range, and they want something that's going to be premium, interesting, and incredibly well built. And this knife encapsulates that. The machining, the precision is, I mean, just impeccable. If somebody said they wanted to know, they wanted to get as close as they could to the Hog House Model T Gen 2, they wanted to get as close as they possibly could to that action for $255. This is where I would point them. I was like, if you want to feel that custom knife action and you've got $255, this is going to be it. This doesn't even have skiffs in it. And I wouldn't put skiffs in it. Okay, I would. But that's because I'm stupid and I put skiffs in everything. This knife doesn't need that. Not only are you getting the action, you're getting the ergonomics, you're getting the size, you're getting the blade geometry, and this is a super interesting piece, right? You just ask people, what do you see? And if they don't say bird, well, okay, they might not say bird, but it's just wild. And actually, this side's kind of shaped like a beak too, right? Because it's got, so it's like this side is maybe a duck or a swan. And this side's like a baby owl. Crazy. But yeah, if you want to walk around like you have a custom, but you don't have custom knife money, which is most all of us, this would be exactly the direction I would point you in. Now, you do get 10% off at White Mountain Knives with the code S7, which will drop this down to $230 roughly, which gets it a little bit more affordable. They also don't have shipping. They also don't have taxes, so you'd be looking at right around $230 all in. I already think this knife is worth every bit of $255. They could have priced this knife at $275. I think would be the upper echelon, and I still would say, yeah, it's worth it. Right at $20 to it, I'd be like, yeah, this knife is worth it. At $230, I think it's a steal. I think it's an absolute, for everything that you're getting at $230, this thing's a steal. So would I carry it? Oh, you already know. Would I add this to my collection? Absolutely, I would. Not because it's the most expensive knife, but for its uniqueness and everything that I've already said it brings to the table. Yeah, this would be similar to my feelings about the Poi Kilo knives, where typically my collection pieces are not users. This would kind of blend that category for me. It would be a piece that I collected, but also a piece I don't feel bad about using every day, right? So tell me, would this be something you would add to your collection? Is this something that would be part of your daily carry rotation? Either way, let me know down in the comments below. I do want to give you guys a huge thank you for all the love, support, likes, comments, shares. You guys have been amazing. All the subs have been fantastic. We're growing pretty quickly, and I love it. Outside of that, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. And until the next time, peace.